The Eye of Sauron is hovering somewhere over the western United States.
Where's the ring? Someone must have put it on. They must have found it, the one ring to rule them all. That's crazy. Could you imagine seeing a giant fiery orb? What would that be? What would that be? What could that be?
Welcome back to Multiverse of Merriment. Today on the show, we're talking about Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
Absolute Green Arrow. UFOs. So that'll be fun. And the Odyssey trailer, I think.
Yes, I think
and that came out this week.
Yes. I saw it. Did you?
I haven't seen it yet, so we'll play it, and this will be the first time I've seen it.
Well, that'll be fun.
But first, Mortal Kombat 2. We saw it last night.
Saw it last night. I loved it. It met my expectations for a Mortal Kombat movie. It was great. I thought it was fine. I really enjoyed it. Best Mortal Kombat movie I've ever seen. I'm a big fan of the one in the 90s. I love the one, that I saw when I was a child. Was a big Mortal Kombat fan. All of us were playing the game. Movie came out, was great. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is obviously one of the worst movies ever made. And then, Mortal Kombat kind of disappeared off the silver screen for decades. And around COVID, they came out they were going to reboot it with Mortal Kombat. And that was a fine movie. I didn't think it was a great movie, but it was fine. It had some moments. But this one was the movie that I think us Mortal Kombat fans had kind of been wanting. It was what Mortal Kombat Annihilation probably should have been back in the 90s, and, was what they should have started with when they rebooted it. But yeah, the fights were great. I really really enjoyed it. For my money, the best fight in the movie was Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Like, that was really cool. What a really great fight. I was on the edge of my seat. Didn't know how that one was going to turn out. Love the addition of Johnny Cage. Carl Urban is the man. Carl Urban is the damn man. And, him as Johnny Cage was freaking awesome. Johnny Cage is my favorite Mortal Kombat character anyway, besides like Scorpion. So yeah, it was really good. They didn't mess with the characters. That was something I was really appreciative of. Like, all the characters I thought were really good representations of who they are in the source material. That's crazy. I think Resident Evil should take a damn Resident Evil, representing Resident Evil today. They should take a damn look at this movie and say, like, I saw someone was writing something on YouTube the other day about the trailer. The Resident Evil trailer that came out, and they were like, all we want is a damn an adaptation of it, like Batman Begins. Batman Begins is a great Batman movie that's not necessarily, it's based, loosely on a comic run, but it's told in a way that feels fresh, but also like really connects with the characters and stuff. And this movie right here, I feel, does the same thing. Like, they took these characters who have really, I think Mortal Kombat characters have really good backstories and everything, and just really neat lore behind it. I think Mortal Kombat's a good story for a fighting game. And they took it and they adapted it into something that felt like they were taking care of these characters in this source material. It was handled really well. And I don't know why Resident Evil can't do what this has done, but it was really good. The script, it was a little rough. I mean, I felt like they were pushing the story along a little bit, and
fast.
They were pushing the story along pretty quickly. Dialogue was a little, but
it was a little
90s. Who cares? It was exciting to watch. I mean, were you not entertained? I feel like, Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Like, I was. Yeah, I was. So,
I mean, for me, the two most entertaining fights were probably, let me see if I can find them since we've got the trailer playing here in the background, but this one right here was my favorite. This fight with the hat, and just, you didn't know where anything was coming from.
Yeah, that was great. The Kung Lao's blade hat kept coming in and out of the shot, and you didn't know where it was coming from next. And then there was one point that made me jump because I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, no,
Yeah.
it was very good. I also like the Johnny Cage Baraka fight.
Yeah, this fight was pretty hilarious too.
So Baraka this was actually very interesting because Baraka is kind of used as a silent, just kind of guard character that they just kind of throw in there to just beat up a lot of the times. Like in the Mortal Kombat video game, Baraka is like just a Shao Kahn shill, and it just shows up to like have you fight him for a little bit, but he's not really taken seriously or treated like, well, what they did to him in this was amazing. What they did to him in this thing was really cool. But yeah, the Johnny Cage Baraka fight was really good, and the Kung Lao Liu Kang fight was pretty good. And Katana was badass in this movie. I thought she was, handled really well, and going up against Shao Kahn, it was pretty awesome, man. It was pretty awesome. I'm curious though. So we talked about it a little bit, but just so the folks at home know, like, you went to see this movie knowing absolutely zilch about Mortal Kombat. So what did you think of it, knowing nothing about these characters? I told you a loose story idea of what Mortal Kombat's kind of about in like 2 minutes in the car. What did you think about seeing the movie as like someone who doesn't know?
Yeah, and to be honest, that didn't really help me because I'll be honest, this movie is really hard to follow if you. It's not okay. So it's not hard to follow from a plot perspective because the plot is real weak.
It's thin. Yeah, it's thin.
It's just we're gonna fight to the death so that this evil dude doesn't take over Earth or whatever.
That's the plot, right? That's the plot.
Yeah. But like, I pulled up the trailer in part because I couldn't name any of these characters to save my life. Like, if it was like you will die unless you can name a single character in this movie, I got nothing. But
yeah.
That being said, I found it very entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it was like, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but with fantasy shit from video games. Like, it was just awesome. It was cool. The fights were cool. I thought the way they shot it was really cool. The characters were funny.
Yeah.
It was an enjoyable movie, even though I knew nothing about it and like couldn't care less about any of the characters. I still thought it was cool.
Yeah, Kano was hilarious. Kano and Johnny Cage were both really funny, and when they put those two together, their banter back and forth was really funny. But I feel like one of my favorite lines came from Kano when he was talking about Quan Chi, and he was like, "I know this dude looks like Voldemort's nutsack." I was like, "That is hilarious."
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kano was really funny. That dude is really funny. But yeah, I thought it was a great movie. One of these days I should probably show you the 90s one. Get a kick out of that. But yeah, I liked it. I was very pleased with this movie. And to be honest, I had a feeling it was going to be good just based on the trailer. I was like, man, I feel like this movie is going to be good. And part of that is because of Carl Urban, because he's a huge nerd, and I felt like he's not going to tie himself to this project if he doesn't believe in it, because at the end of the day, he's a nerd, and I know Carl Urban's played Mortal Kombat, and he probably loves Mortal Kombat, and I what he did with the movie Dredd, Judge Dredd, where he came in and just, that is one of the best movies ever, Judge Dredd, and the way he played Judge Dredd was just fantastic. And I think he really respects source material, and that's why when I saw that he was lined up to play Johnny Cage, I was like, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. And it was. I thought it was really good. Like I said, not an Oscar thing. It's not going to win any awards. But it was.
To be honest, I feel like she was actually the best actor in maybe the whole movie. Besides,
she was incredible.
The guy with the fire. I don't remember what his name was.
Liu Kang.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. But I mean, it was pretty well acted all around. Nobody really wasn't good.
No, yeah, I agree.
Especially
with you.
Given the fact that the world was so thin and like the plot and the dialogue wasn't like the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But they still managed to get it all out and make you believe it, even though all of those things were in place. So
yeah,
I had a good time. I thought it was fun.
I agree with you though. I think the actress who played Katana was really good. I don't know if this is like a first time project for her or what she's been involved in. Or, this is her breakout role, but like, man, like to come in and handle this script and do the acting that she did, I think she's going to go places, that one. But yeah, she was definitely a standout in the movie as far as like, this girl's good. She's really good.
I think I've seen her in other things, but I can't for the life of me remember which ones. So, our next movie to talk about is the Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I have not seen this trailer, but you have, correct?
Yes. I watched it. I watched it the other day. I saw it had come out, and I'd been following this movie. Obviously there's anyone who's anybody in movies is in this one, and it's Christopher Nolan, so there's a lot of buzz around this, and it's the Odyssey anyway, so that's a cool story. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm in this. So let's give this a watch here, so you can see it too, and kind of see what I'm talking about.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife? A son?
And then what?
We won the war. Help me go home.
This is a household waiting for master. I want you to choose me.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
No, he's not.
It's an interesting cast.
What would he do if he came back here and find all these suitors in his house?
They're pining for a daddy. You didn't even know. Like some sniveling bastard.
Who's looking after your wife and son?
Do you see?
My dad is coming home.
And you vengeance.
Bringing it all.
I need everyone at this party dead. I can still save them.
You're a man who needs to control his fate. But you cannot control this. That world is gone.
No one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
Keep us straight!
I think it's asleep.
I think this
I'm
is
gonna be
gonna
honest.
I think it's
I
gonna
have
be
no
fun.
idea what to make of this.
I have a few thoughts. So I like Christopher Nolan's movies generally. I enjoy them. But there's a but. He usually tries to tell everyone how smart he is. He wants everyone to know that he's a genius. And sometimes it comes to maybe the detriment of the story or the enjoyment of being entertained, where Mortal Kombat entertained us, where we were just sitting there like, oh, look at the fighting and look at the kicking and shit.
Sure.
But so I wonder if this movie's going to have that curse to it. Now, I will say what does give me hope is Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. And why it's because one of my favorite movies is because when I saw it in a theater, I felt like I was going on an adventure. it felt very much like a cinematic movie experience of just going on this incredible journey with these characters. I felt that.
Mhm.
I'm kind of hoping that this movie will do the same thing of where we feel like we are going on this adventure with Odysseus. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping. Now, a lot of my favorite actors are in this movie. I've had a crush on Anne Hathaway since The Princess Diaries. Robert Pattinson's one of my favorite actors now. All of a sudden, I'm a huge Pattinson fan. I think he's amazing, and he's the villain in this, and I think he's going to be cool.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Pattinson is good. I love Tom Holland. Anne
Matt Damon's
Hathaway
Matt
is
Damon.
whatever to me, and Matt Damon is also whatever. But, which is going to be the interesting part since he's carrying the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've seen things with him in it that have been excellent. Like, wasn't he the lead in The Martian?
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
movie, right?
Yeah, he was great in that. So, I'm curious. I'm slightly skeptical of it because, I mean, what do you actually remember from the Odyssey, the book? Did you read the Odyssey?
Of course I did. I remember the Cyclops.
Sure.
I remember the sirens.
Yeah.
I remember that he is on a revenge plot. I remember that, it starts with like the Battle of Troy. Wasn't he a part of the Battle of Troy?
I think so.
Isn't that how it starts? Anyway, but what I remember the most, and I thought this was really cool, I thought this was pretty badass considering when this story was written, if you think about it, is that when he comes back, he's barely recognizable, but he looks like an old man. But he's like strong as balls, all right? He's like very strong. And I remember someone in the story, the villain, maybe Pattinson's character, chucks a chair at him, and the chair bursts across his back, and he just shakes it off. And I always thought that was so cool because he's so strong. He looks like an old man because I think in the story, he's gone for years. He spends years trying to get back.
Yeah.
And when he returns, they see this weak old man, but he's like built like a brick shithouse. So when this chair hits him, he just shakes it off and he turns around, and I just remember him laying waste to the room. And I thought, what a cool image for something that was written so long ago that felt almost cinematic for something written so long ago. That's what I remember about the Odyssey.
Yeah, I think those are the things I remember too. So I'm curious if like all of those plot points are in the movie or some of them are skipped because I mean it's a long book like you said. So
it's going to be a long movie.
There are things that stand out about it. So I'm curious if he decides to keep those things in or if he'll probably take does liberties. The like artistic genius take on it where it's like all that shit was entertaining but we don't care about it. Although in that last scene it does seem like they might be facing the Cyclops. So
that definitely looked like the Cyclops. Yeah, he'll probably keep. I mean, it's a Nolan film, so it's going to be a long watch. I feel like it's going to be a long movie. But I have a feeling it'll be like I really enjoy, Nolan's movies. Obviously, the Batman movies, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight. Great films. I liked Tenet. It didn't make any sense, but I enjoyed it. And then, Inception was good. Oppenheimer was really good. Really enjoyed that. So yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to Nolan, the only movie I've ever watched of Nolan that I just was like, I do not like this is Dunkirk. But that's because it took me so long to figure out what the hell was going on. But I feel it'll probably be okay. It'll probably be fun. I'm just, like I said, I'm hoping it's going to give me that same feeling that Interstellar gave me. Interstellar is a great movie. And it's because that when I had an experience in the theater, feeling like I was on this incredible adventure, it took me there in the same way that Jurassic Park did when I was a kid. It just had that same, this is a movie moment, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the Odyssey will feel that way too, because it is an adventure, because the Odyssey is a journey. take us on that journey one more time. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I hope so too. But next up, we've got Absolute Green Arrow. You said you saw a trailer for the comic this week that you found interesting, correct?
I've never seen a trailer comic before. But when I saw it, I clicked on it because I had to see it because I love the Absolute stuff. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, here's something for Absolute Green Arrow, and I'm loving the Absolute stuff right now. And when I saw this, I was like, holy crap, this has to go in the box. This has to go in the box. So Wednesday when we go to pick up the comics, I'm telling them it's going in the box.
The rich think they're untouchable. But one by one, the wealthy and powerful are being hunted. And only executive protection specialist Dinah Lance can solve the murder of Oliver Queen. DC Comics presents a horror reimagining of a legend.
So cool, right?
Without money, without mercy, what's left is the Absolute Green Arrow.
That might be the coolest Green Arrow's ever been.
Think again. Coming soon to a comic book store near you.
That might be the coolest Green Arrow's ever been. So, like with all the Absolute stuff, I'm digging the Absolute stuff right now. Absolute stuff right now. I think it's the best thing that's happened to comics in a very long time. And I've enjoyed all these reimaginings. So I was feeling kind of like, I thought it was interesting to leave Green Arrow out of the story. So they come up with that one-off comic, Absolute Evil, and Oliver Queen is killed in that comic. And I was like, holy crap, they're not even going to use Green Arrow. They've killed off Green Arrow in Absolute Evil. And then here he comes back. He's going to be like some kind of demonic, looks like he's going to be some kind of demonic thing from the dead who's hunting down rich people. And that's another thing that I really appreciate about the Absolute stuff. As you know, DC right now is cooking when it comes to social issues and the current climate. DC's cooking right now. And here we have a story, where Superman is about, authoritarianism, Superman fighting against authoritarian regimes. Here we have, Green Arrow coming out now, and it looks like he's going to be battling the wealthy. And in the Absolute Evil comic, they kind of alluded to the fact that Oliver Queen was trying to kill someone who had been doing naughty things on an island. If that sounds familiar to you, a rich guy doing naughty things on an island, he was trying to stop him. So they already laid the groundwork that Oliver Queen's going to be. So in the story, Oliver Queen's wealthy. Green Arrow is wealthy, just like Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. Because arguably the first superpower you have to have is money. But in this one, he's got no money. He's dead. He's fighting wealthy people. It's almost like they're turning him into that Robin Hood character. He's even got the bow. He's got the green hood. So he's a dead, undead. Was he undead? A dead vengeance, ghostly figure fighting against the rich.
This is what I can't figure out though from that trailer. He looks like Spectre. So I can't.
Yeah.
I can't really decide if they're trying to make him a Green Arrow Spectre or if they're trying to make him a Green Arrow zombie.
Well, maybe they are. So that's curious that you bring that up because he does look a lot like Spectre more than Green Arrow. And if Green Arrow is dead, maybe this is going to be a Spectre Green Arrow. Maybe Spectre has something to do with it. Maybe Spectre is the reason why Green Arrow is back from the dead. Or maybe Green Arrow and Spectre kind of getting combined to save time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean, there was that run of Green Lantern where Hal Jordan was kind of like meshed up with Spectre, I think.
Yeah, maybe they're doing that here. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, holy crap. I remember reading Green Arrow in the New 52 and kind of digging that. That was kind of, the New 52 was kind of my first introduction into Green Arrow years ago. And I liked it. And I know that like a lot of people don't like New 52. I feel like if you didn't know the characters and you read New 52, you really liked it. Because I liked Wonder Woman New 52. Because I'd never read Wonder Woman before. Just same with Green Arrow. I thought Green Arrow New 52 was good. But for the most part, I haven't read a ton of Green Arrow. And this looks fun. I hope it's good. All the Absolute stuff has been good thus far. I really, Superman, I was telling you, I feel like Absolute Superman may be the best run of Superman comics that have been written in a long time. Absolute Batman is so cool. Absolute Wonder Woman's one of my faves. Absolute Flash is fine. But, it's good. It's okay. The only ones I don't know about are Martian Manhunter, which I couldn't get into. I don't know if that's turned around. Are you still
I'm not
getting
caught
those?
up enough to say whether it's turned around or not. I am still getting them. I'm just several issues behind, which is the same for Absolute Green Lantern.
Maybe I'll just read all your Martian Manhunter and just sit down and just read them all. Maybe.
You could try.
Yeah, I didn't like it when I first started. I did not like it. And then, Green Lantern, I didn't know enough about Green Lantern like you do. You're the
I knew a ton about Green Lantern, and I still found that very confusing to start with, which is why I'm not caught up on it. Because I was like, I'm going to let several issues come out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to read the whole thing again from start to
finish.
issue 10 or something and see if I am, understanding where they're going with it at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, the Absolute stuff is amazing. But yeah, I'm excited about the Green Arrow thing. I will be adding it to the box.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to read it too. I like the concept of a horror Green Arrow comic. So I hope they kind of lean pretty heavily into that because that would be cool.
I do too. And I love the shot of the panel of the two arrows in the dude's face. Nice. Nice. I could use a good story about someone taking down the wealthy elites. I could use that. That'd be awesome. That'd be fun to read. Yeah, DC right now is crushing it. The only thing Marvel has got going for them for me right now is Benjamin Percy with the Punisher, and then I like the first 2 issues of Daredevil I've read so far. But overall, DC they are kicking ass in my opinion right now.
Yeah. Well, last but not least, we've got some there's an interesting document drop this week from the U.S. government. Which is not something we usually talk about on this show. It's usually a mildly alarmed topic, but this one's kind of weird and dirty, so we thought we'd talk about it here. War.gov/UFO popped online this week with 160 some odd documents and photos of previously classified UFO sightings, or UAP sightings as they like to call them. A couple interesting things about this document drop. One, I don't know that any of it went any further than any of the UFO documentaries or anything out there.
You're saying it's pretty watered down? Because I haven't looked at any of it. I haven't looked at any of it, but you're saying it's pretty watered down.
Yeah, it's a bit like other file drops from the U.S. government where they kind of give you the stuff that you either suspected, already knew, or there were other accounts of out there. But a few things that are interesting. So the documents span about 80 years, from 1946 to a document that was actually dated May 8th.
The day it came out?
We're going to talk about that one because it's probably the most interesting thing in the whole collection. All the documents come from multiple agencies. So there's the State Department, the FBI, the White House, the Air Force, U.S. CENTCOM, and something called AARO, which is the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office.
I didn't know
which I never heard of.
I didn't know that existed. Is that like the Men in Black?
Apparently it's the Pentagon's current official UAP investigation body.
Could you imagine having that job where your job was basically the Men in Black kind of for the government? You just study, unidentified flying objects, and things like that. That'd be crazy. What do you do for the Pentagon? Oh, I search for aliens or unidentified flying.
Well, so they would never say that, right? They're just identifying weird objects. So most of these are probably going to end up being Chinese spy equipment, or like that balloon that they launched a few years ago that we all got panicked about. But there is some funny stuff in there. So there's some cables, some documents in there from here's one example. In 2004, the U.S. Embassy in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, was working with local NGOs on democracy building
Mhm.
and like civil society stuff. And they discovered that one of their most reliable partners, they're like go-to implementers for humanitarian aid distribution, was actually the Union of UFOologists of Turkmenistan.
Okay.
The club was like founded in 1992 as Turkmenistan's first independent NGO, specifically to study extraterrestrial life.
Oh, cool.
And over time, their activities just got more practical, and they just expanded to doing a whole bunch of stuff. But it's a funny read because it's like the State Department trying to work out what they should do about the fact that their like main BFFs are UFO
Enthusiasts.
chasers.
Yeah.
There's other weird stuff in there. There's like a weird communication back and forth with Russia where like Russia denies having like sent anything that might be identified as a UFO. Like they didn't even have technology that could have identified one if they had seen it because it was like in the area. It was weird. There's just a bunch of weird stuff in here. There's also some stuff about in Mexico at one point there was some like Congress sort of hearing about UAPs, but there was a scientist there who claimed to have like alien corpses, and he brought them along. And one of our people went down and like watched the whole thing, so that's in there.
Is there anything about Roswell?
I don't know if there's specifically anything about Roswell. A lot of stuff is titled like the Western United States, so you don't exactly know where it was.
Aliens, these unidentified vehicles do tend to show up out there in rural areas.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they do tend to show up there.
Yeah. What's interesting is the stuff that like there are themes throughout. So like one of the main things is that the government goes way out of its way to check the credibility of every single person that is interviewed in these cases.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it to be written off as like that crazy man saw a UFO.
Right, yeah.
So there's like a lot of detail about the people who see things. And then the other theme for like every single encounter, basically, minus like a few, is that like engines stop working around the time when you see the sightings. So like somebody's tractor engine died.
So they have some type of like
vehicle died.
EMP device on there that's like
something
knocking
like
out
that.
Electromagnetic fields and things.
Yeah. But the thing I wanted to really talk about today, which I'm going to show you, are the slides from May 8th.
So this was like recent. Because this was just like a day.
We're recording this on the 9th.
Okay, so yeah, it really was yesterday.
Okay, so I'm going to read it for our actual podcast listeners. This slide is entitled Orbs Launching Orbs, and location, Western United States, time of day dusk on 2 separate days. It's noted in parentheses.
2 separate days. Okay.
3 teams of 2 federal law enforcement special agents each, which they're titling U.S. Person 1 through U.S. Person 6, independently described seeing orange orbs, quote unquote, in the sky, emit or launch smaller red orbs in groups of 2 to 4, with 3 being the general consensus. This is stated to have occurred at least 5 times. Each time the orange orb would appear, launch red orbs, then disappear. The orange orb was only visible for 1 or 2 seconds. The red orbs would generally move away from the orange mother orb in a horizontal path. But in a couple of instances, one red orb was stated to move heading up at an angle, while another witness stated sometimes the red orbs would swoop down after being launched from the larger orange orb. These events were witnessed by multiple teams from varying locations and vantage points over a 2-day period. Due to the sequential nature of the events, it's not known whether there was a single orange, quote, mother orb that released the groups of red orbs or whether there were multiple orange orbs at play.
Weird. The orbs, the mother orb. So this one big orb, so if I understand this correctly, this one big orb started launching other orbs from it in threes? Is that what
and
we're...
apparently between 2 and 4, but often 3.
Often 3. Well, that is
The slide
weird.
deck goes on,
Okay.
so the weirdness hasn't stopped yet. This one's called Large Fiery Orb, in quotations. Same location, same time of day, dusk. There's an artist's rendering on this one of a red orb with like a yellowish orange streak through it.
Well, it's kind of like a planet. Like
It
Jupiter.
does. This one says 2 federal law enforcement special agents, U.S. person 5 and 6, witness a glowing orange orb at a distance of approximately 500 to 600 meters, where it was perched close to a rock pinnacle. Size was difficult to determine, but it appeared to be similar in size to a small helicopter cockpit. Witnesses were unable to clearly see any structure other than the glowing orb, though U.S. person 6 noted that the object did almost appear it might have had a small spindle or something connecting it from underneath to the rock formation. Witnesses stated that the object did not emit any noticeable sound. The object was described as being, quote, similar to the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, except without the pupil, or maybe an orange storm electrify bowling ball.
Cool.
U.S. person 6 stated the object, quote, seemed to be hovering with zero resistance or movement or to be suspended. The sighting lasted, quote, about a minute.
The Eye of Sauron.
So the Eye of Sauron is hovering somewhere over the western United States.
Where's the ring? Someone must have put it on. They must have found it, the one ring to rule them all. That's crazy. Could you imagine seeing a giant fiery orb? What would that be? What would that be? What
I don't
could
know.
that be?
There are 2 more slides in this deck. One talks about a dark kite. So 2 law enforcement officials. This one was pre-dawn hours, so apparently aliens like to really come out at the dawn and dusk hours of the day.
They're about like fish. About like the perfect times to go fishing.
2 federal law enforcement special agents, U.S. person 5 and 6, observed what's initially thought to be a car traveling along a road in a restricted zone. The car had 2 lights, one red and one white, that are about 2 to 3 feet off the road over the desert without changing it. Off the ground. Agents pursued the car, and as they got to within a few hundred feet, the object suddenly moved off the road over the desert without changing its orientation. With respect to the observers, it appeared to move laterally at an estimated speed of 15 to 20 miles per hour. The object didn't change height and appeared to move with zero resistance. The object stopped about 100 meters off the side of the road and turned off its lights. U.S. person 6 described the object as a thin line from the back, whereas the other agents, U.S. person 5, stated that it almost looked like an ill-defined dark kite shape that had some rounded width to the sides. U.S. person 6 used night vision goggles to view the object once it had stopped off the road. The agent stated they observed the object for a split second in the NVGs before the light turned off, and that once the lights were off, a very thin line remained. The object was estimated to be about 4 feet wide and positioned horizontally to the ground. There's a little image if you want to see the red light and white light. Can you describe that?
Yeah, it looks like a thin line with a box in the center, and that's the white light. And then there's red light off to the far, I guess, left of it.
Yeah.
So that's what it's supposed to have looked like, was this thin thing.
That's apparently what they saw. It says the object then began to move at about 15 to 20 miles per hour and appeared to move up in height, but remained a flat line. The agent lost sight of the object after a few seconds.
Weird.
In later discussions with the AARO, the object is designed as being triangular.
Sounds like some kind of weird drone, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Very aerodynamic, though, if it was to be that thin and kite-shaped.
Yeah. And then the very last one, again in the pre-dawn hours, was noted as a transparent kite. So after 30 minutes after the dark kite sighting, federal law enforcement special agents 5 and 6 returned to the same general area with another colleague, 7, in a response to a report of another unauthorized object in the area. Within a few hundred meters of the dark kite sighting, 2 of the team members, 5 and 6, observed a kite-shaped object with a light pattern similar to the object seen previously. The object was about 6 meters off the ground, is canted at an angle from lower right to upper left, and appeared to be floating slowly with the wind. 5 was using NVGs when viewing the object, and 6 used the bare eye. 7 did not see the object. 5 stated that in the night vision goggles, they could vaguely see a bright star or two in the distance through the object, though somewhat more faint, leading them to believe the object was somewhat transparent. After losing sight of the object, 5 tried using a spotlight to find it again. The witness noted that when shining the light around, at one point my beam went from shining far into the distance to stopping about 50 yards away on nothing in particular. It just was not projecting into the distance, and then it was. When the witness pointed the light at the spot where the light had appeared to be blocked by something, this time the light was projecting into the distance again. The team was unable to reacquire sight of the object.
So, something that stood out to me, 5 and 6, they saw some crazy stuff, the 2 of them, that night.
They did.
7 didn't. But
Yeah.
5 and 6 saw fiery orbs in 2 different flying vehicles. I would say that 5 and 6, they were seeing some stuff out there.
5 and 6 are either telling them family some stories, or they're just up at night, unable to tell their family some stories at this point.
Yeah, 5 and 6 were having a rough night. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like some drone activity or something like that. But like, who would be making these drones?
Flat kite-shaped drones or spheres that look like the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, that one's weirder because of the size of it. That one's strange. Like, you can make a drone, and maybe there's some dude out there making a drone and just effing with 5 and 6 here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's aliens. But the fiery orb of the Eye of Sauron, like, that's weird to me. That seems paranormal.
A helicopter cockpit-sized orange bowling ball.
That seems paranormal to me. Like, that's one of those things where you're like, that's weird. That's weird. Who could produce such a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know how you would explain the giant red fiery orb that's shooting out other orbs.
I don't either.
Often 3. That's a weird one there. That's a weird one there. And that happened just the other day.
Apparently so.
The place is getting crazy, yeah.
We should have brought our tinfoil hats for this episode.
I think we're going to need our tinfoil hats for this episode. I
have
like this
2
stuff.
last things to show you from the files so far.
All right.
The first, they both come from what is labeled as the Apollo 12, 1969.
Oh, that's weird.
What is the first one. It seems like it was taken off of the moon.
So there's this blue line.
Vertical column?
Yeah, thing that's taken on just off the surface of the moon. I guess, is it out in space? Is that what we're led to believe? Or is it on the surface of the moon at a distance?
Yeah, it seems to be out in space. I think this is the real object.
Yeah, that's the,
like
and then that's it.
And then this is like the blown
there.
up version of the
That's
object.
weird. That blue light. That's really strange. I wonder what that is. It looks almost, my writer brain, it looks almost aquatic in nature. You know how like the deeper you go into like the Mariana Trench and those kinds of things, the critters down there glow and they're kind of like weird shapes. That's what that looks like, but it's obviously in space. Can you imagine how nerve-wracking and stressful it would be to be on the surface of the moon because you're like out in space and then you see something like that? I'd be like, how scary must that be? Because it would already be scary to me to be on the surface of the moon. As much as I would love to stand on the moon, it would already be kind of scary because of you're in space. But like to be on the surface of the moon and then to take a picture of some blue random ass light, I'd be like, bro. No.
So here we have one. The next image, there's 5 different things highlighted.
Okay.
This Area 1 still looks vaguely blue, as does 4. 2 and 3 to me, and potentially even 5 look like maybe they could be satellites.
5 definitely. 5 looks like a man-made object, especially, and 2 does as well. 3 kind of looks like another galaxy or planet.
Mm.
Some kind of.
Does 5 look a little bit like a bad rendering of R2-D2?
It does. 5 does look like a bad rendering of R2-D2. It does look like a droid. It looks like a it definitely looks droid-like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those are strange though. Yeah, 1 and 4, I can't even really tell what the hell 4 is, but 1 and 4, weird. Can you have weird tricks of the light in space? If you were standing,
That's a
I don't
good
know if you could or
question.
not. I don't know. 2 and 5 though do look oddly man-made. 3 looks like they could have caught like a comet in the distance. Can you see shooting stars from the moon? Maybe that's what they encountered.
I guess you
in 3.
probably could, but I don't know.
Those are weird.
A lot of like blue-toned, just glowing objects.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be standing on the surface of the moon seeing things I didn't know. I think that would be a little frightening, I think. Do you
Yeah.
remember that movie? Did you ever see that found footage movie they made where they were on the moon and there was like monsters on the moon, critters, alien beings on the moon? Did you ever see that found footage film?
I don't think so.
It wasn't great, but that's what came to mind. That was weird. So what do you think? Drones, test vehicles? You think the Chinese? The Russians are lying?
I think probably the Chinese, but I don't know. The most interesting part of this for me was like the orb appears to be the new flying saucer. Like instead of people thinking that they're seeing flying saucers, everybody's thinking they're seeing orbs now, which is interesting. And an orb is such a odd shape because it's not particularly aerodynamic. So I don't know why anybody would make one. Why would you make a drone shaped like an orb?
Well, the Borg had the Borg spheres.
Star Trek reference for anyone who doesn't know.
And the Borg, they flew around in giant cubes.
Yeah.
They were hella deadly, so, maybe there is something to that shape. Maybe we're thinking about this all wrong.
I know. It's just like to your point, for like otherworldly reasons to make an orb, I'm sure there are some and we're just not smart enough to understand them. For Earth, though, our laws of gravity and physics don't really lend themselves to like, you should make an orb. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've been interested in this kind of stuff for a while. I mean, I grew up watching the X-Files, and I had a buddy of mine who was big into aliens. Like he thought that aliens had made everything humans have. Like he was like, aliens helped the Aztecs, aliens abducted the Aztecs, aliens built the pyramids, the pharaohs were worshiping aliens. Like he believed all that stuff, that like aliens have been here since the dawn of civilization, and the only reason why we are the way we are is thanks to them. Humans never would have achieved any of this if it hadn't been for aliens.
It really goes against the Star Trek protocol.
Yeah. So I've listened to those things forever. Also, I really like my mood lighting right now for alien talk.
Yeah, it got really dark in your
It got really dark in here, but I really like it right now for this alien discussion. I think it's good mood lighting. It's really giving me good vibes. But so I've heard a lot of these, alien conspiracy, theories and theories about there being aliens here. I'm not one to think that typically. I do believe that. I'm not going to say that aliens don't exist because the universe is vast and endless and we have no idea what could possibly be out there. It's hard to believe that we would be the only living species. I dare say intelligent species. I don't think we are, but like I think I think we would be remiss to say that we were the only ones. I think that would be naive. But
Sure.
are they here flying around in orbs? I don't know, but the orange orb thing, that's got me, I'll say. The orange orb thing has got me a little bit. I'm kind of like, geez. And that's something that happened yesterday.
Supposedly. Well, I mean, it probably took them a couple days to write up things and drop slides about it, so.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. It is government, so that would take a while. So it probably happened a week ago, but,
Or more.
Yeah, or more with the government for sure.
But yeah, I guess we should all be going out there looking for floating orbs in the sky now.
I am. I'm going to be looking up tonight as it's getting dark out there, as evident by my current lighting situation. I think I'm going to be looking up and looking for the Eye of Sauron now at night.
Yep.
Do you know here in North Carolina, we always talked about the blue mountain lights, and that kind of came to mind when I heard that. The old ghost story of the lights on top of the mountain, and nobody really knew what it meant or where it came from, but there would be these lights on the mountain. They thought they were Native American spirits and those kinds of things. What I always heard all kinds of things, but when I heard about this fiery orb, when you were talking about it, the blue mountain lights came to mind. So there's some weird stuff out there, as Mulder would say. The truth is out there, so who knows?
All right, well, if you had a chance to dig into the files, or even if you haven't, and you just want to drop some theories on the stuff in those files, feel free to leave us a comment. As always, Multiverse of Merriment comes out each Thursday at 6 a.m. on YouTube Music, and Spotify. And if you liked this episode, please like and or subscribe. We would love to bring you more merriment in the future.
Yay.
But until next time.
Take it easy.